For all of you who listen to Mackey's Second Floor Studios presents Submersion and own an Android device, do me a favor. Go to the Google Play Store and download the Podcast Republic app. It's a fantastic app that allows you to get all of your favorite podcasts directly on your Android device. I use the app and I love it. I can search for the podcasts I want to listen to, select them as favorites, and have them all just a click away. Make sure to set Mackey's Second Floor Studios as a favorite so you don't miss any of our new episodes. Again, the app is the Podcast Republic app, available on Android devices. Episode 47.
Woo!
And it is a doozy of an episode.
That's true.
Rest in peace, Mustard Man. Technical difficulties have him sidelined tonight.
Yeah. He was actually going to be on this episode, but then, technical difficulties.
Yeah, what can you do, man?
It's difficult when the technicalities become difficult.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah. It's the life of a podcaster, multi-million-dollar podcast business. We can't slow down for one person.
Everybody boycott Audacity. Stop buying that program.
Not a sponsor.
Stop buying that free program.
We're going to drop that name. We better be sponsored.
Good call.
I mean, we are taking a shit on them, though.
Right. Wow, dude. Good Lord. Shitting on freeware.
Right.
That's worked very well for us. So anyways, continuing on into the second week of 2018 in review.
Yep.
This movie came out in the summer, and before we even get into this movie, I went to go watch this in IMAX theaters on like a Sunday morning when it's dirt
packed.
cheap.
What's dirt cheap for IMAX?
Like $5.
I think it was.
That's
I think
really
like
cheap
that.
for IMAX.
Yeah. So I go to watch it. I'm sitting in there with like 10 other people because I think it was like 9 a.m, something like that.
You're all looking at each other weirdly. Like,
right.
What are you guys
what
doing
are you
here?
doing at the movie theater? Why are you drinking soda? It's only 9 a.m.
Why do you have your coat over your lap?
Yeah. And so we're sitting there for a while, and the movie's supposed to start, and all of a sudden, one of the attendants from the movie theater walks in and says, "Hey, the projector is broken. We're going to try to fix it." So we sat there another 15 minutes, never got fixed, and I had to leave the theater.
You never saw it?
I didn't get to see it in theaters.
Destiny to watch it now.
Yeah.
Well, I had a similar thing because my wife, she really only has one taste in movies, which is like suspense thrillers kind of stuff.
But isn't it just one really specific type of suspense thrillers?
I don't know. It's like she likes things with lawyers and stuff like that. I don't know. Anyways, there's a very, very very small number of films that she actually looks at and goes, I want to see that. But unbeknownst to me, one of those genres was shark movies because we went and saw The Shallows and she's like, I like that. And then when this was coming out, she was like, I want to see that. And I was like, really? You want to see the Jason Statham shark movie? Like, what is happening?
Who doesn't want to see this?
Right. So then we planned, okay, we're going to go do it. We're going to do it. Blah, blah, all this stuff. And then when it came to the night, it was like, no, I'm tired. So let's not go see it. And we put it off for a really long time until finally one night it was like, oh, date night. Let's look for a movie. I'm like, what about, the Meg? Not to spoil it, spoiler alert. But
I think it's spoiled when people click on the episode and they see the title.
Yeah, maybe. But
we should be a little more ambiguous with that moving forward.
And I can tell you, and not to spoil my rating for this, but she was working about 35 minutes into this movie, was on her laptop just doing work instead. She
Really?
Yeah. No, you think it turned out it wasn't just sharks, like general sharks with her genre. Like it needs to be more than that, I guess, because this did not satisfy her hunger.
Wow.
Yeah, she hated it. Like if she was here, she'd say like, well, I guess she's going to be here later, but you'll get to hear from her mouth.
Yeah.
But she's gonna. I think she'd probably give it something like a 2.
Well, we'll wait till she gets
not
here,
to spoil
and then
her.
we'll see what
I can't
she
speak
says.
for her, so.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, anybody have anything else before we get into this?
Anything what, Kyle?
Do you want to talk about Cobra starring Sly Stallone some more?
Let's get this going.
Where were you going with that?
Dive.
The world will never know, and neither will I.
What began as an innocent conversation among friends would soon spiral out of control and later be referred to by future generations as the eighth wonder of the modern world. Mac East Second Floor Studios takes you on the journey of your lifetime as your captains, Alex the Mustard Man, the artist formerly known as Brom, Jamie the Brain, Kyle El Capitan, and Zach the Backbone present Submersion. All right, so pretty obvious what we already watched, but Zach, what did we get to watch?
We watched a movie about a giant killer shark that eats people. And that movie is The Meg.
Oh, not for a second.
I could tell you were smiling. What were you thinking?
Well, I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, but I was going to say this movie called Jaws, but
Right, he did a little bait and switch. Like he set it up like he was going to switch it.
I was thinking it was going to be
joke, he
Deep
kept
Blue
it.
Sea.
Oh,
Because
That's a good
Jaws
one.
was too obvious. So I was like, that's too obvious. And it's not
47
funny.
meters down. That movie that everyone knows.
What was the one where they just kind of sit out in the ocean all movie?
Open Water.
Oh, was that good? I never
Wasn't
saw
that a
that
mid
one.
2000s?
That one was horrible. I saw that in the theaters.
I heard
That-
great
that
things
movie
about it.
Sucked.
I heard the sex
That was
scene was
mid-2000s,
incredible.
right?
Yeah, it was awful. I saw it in high school, yeah.
What are you saying, Brom? There was a sex scene in that movie?
That was like, it was high school, so all the 14-year-old boys were all like, ooh, this guy's gotta go see Open Waters and the sex scene, full frontal.
Yeah, like every movie from the 80s.
Yeah, but do every movie from the 80s have sharks?
No, that's true. Only like 4 of them. They were all Jaws movies.
All right. Best of both worlds. All right, so let's get on into this. This movie came out in the summer of 2018. What a golden age.
Sure. Best year ever, right, guys?
Woo-woo.
Ugh.
This is directed by Jon
Turteltaub.
Turteltaub. And
I've heard
it
that name.
stars Jason Statham as Jonas Taylor, Bingbing Li as Su Yin, Rainn Wilson or Dwight as Morris, Cliff Curtis as Mac, and Winston Chao as Zhang, the leading scientist.
wait, what was the name of that director?
Jon Turteltaub.
Say it 3 times fast.
Jon Turteltaub. Jon Turteltaub. Jon Turteltaub.
All right.
Also had Ruby Rose, who's
that's right.
becoming more and
Did?
more famous. Robert
She was
Taylor, who
looking
plays,
good.
Robert Taylor, who's Longmire, and Masioka, who I
I was
recognize
going to
from
say
Heroes.
the guy from Heroes.
Yeah.
All right, shall we get into it?
Let's do it.
All right, so Jonas Taylor, and I saw in the trivia on IMDb, they were like, Jonas is an anagram of Jason. Just to remember that's Jason Statham, Jonas. He's a rescue diver, and we jump straight into some submarine action because there's a submarine in desperate need of some
The
rescuing.
SSBN Rogue.
Nice. I didn't even write that one down.
Yeah, dude, and it is looking rough.
Yeah, so it's not doing so hot. It's on basically the bottom of the ocean. Super duper deep, right? So we come to realize that they've actually inadvertently ended up in the deepest part of the ocean. I think it was supposed to be like 11,000 meters or something. Crazy shit. But he's down there. Jason Statham is saving some people. And while he's saving some people, he sees something pretty crazy go on because he sees a creature ramming into the submarine. And he's
Yes.
like, that's not great. When you're
Well,
this
he's
deep
on
down.
the inside of the submarine.
Right,
And
yeah.
something's ramming into
Yeah,
him.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
But all right, so he knows, okay, guys, it's do or die time.
Yeah.
I got to get this dude out of here because he finds this guy with this really busted up leg.
Sure.
So like a total boss, he just throws him over his shoulder,
Statham.
runs all the way up to this mini submarine that
Right.
they have hooked onto the Rogue.
Yeah, the rescue submarine or whatever. We've seen it in other movies as well.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
And immediately, check that one off the list. We got a mini sub.
Mini sub.
Right off the bat. And so he gets him in, and 2 of his boys are in the sub searching for other survivors.
Yeah.
And it's not going so well because the sub starts taking on water.
Yeah, and he kind of realizes like either I disconnect right now, or this whatever that creature is that's destroying the submarine is going to destroy the submarine. I'm going to get destroyed with him. And against kind of like the screams of some of his fellow rescuers, he disengages the submersible.
Oh, yeah.
And leaves.
And the one guy panics or he freaks out. He's like, "What have you done?"
Yeah, so everyone's not super happy with him, and they kind of call him crazy. So there's a Dr. Heller, who he decided that, Taylor, there was no creature, that he was suffering from pressure-induced psychosis, kind of like the Abyss.
Yeah, second
Right.
time we've heard that one.
And that because of the psychosis, he mistakenly thought a creature was attacking the submarine, and thus he did the wrong thing by disengaging. Although the
As soon
submarine
as it happened, it
did
exploded.
explode, and so
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like, he did make the right decision, whether it was a creature or some gas explosion or something. You'd still say like probably a good thing he wasn't attached to the submarine when it exploded, though.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why the doctor's making such a big deal about it.
No, it was really strange because it literally blew up. Everybody in the minisub felt it. And then the guy's like, what have you done?
Yeah, it's like, well,
Unless
saved
he-
everyone.
Unless he set a bomb on that submarine,
Yeah.
I don't know what he would have done differently.
Yeah.
And then anyway, you cut to 5 years later and we are in China.
Of course we are, because it's 2018 and we're trying to sell a movie.
Yes. And Jason Statham we don't see him yet.
Not yet. No, he's
Not yet.
Yeah, he's drunk somewhere in Thailand.
We see a helicopter flying around. This
Yeah.
is reminiscent of Jurassic Park scene when helicopters flying into Isla Nublar. Is
Yeah,
that the
and
right-
same quality of movie that we're watching as well. So
Isla.
just like Jurassic
Exactly.
Park.
Is that how do you say it?
Isla.
Isla.
Ah, sorry,
Isla
guys.
Fisher.
Who am I?
Isla.
And so anyways, off this helicopter comes billionaire Jack Morris, which
Let's
sounds
just be real.
suspiciously like Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell, but whatever.
It's
I'll leave it there.
billionaire Dwight Schrute.
Yeah, Dwight Schrute's there.
Hey, can any of you guys watch Rainn Wilson
No.
in anything else and not think Dwight?
No, not really. It's weird too when he's like in a commercial. He's like in a commercial recently where he's trying to get like help with his phone, and
Oh yeah, he is.
right, yeah, but like he looks all like scruffy and stuff like that. Where Dwight was always like so uptight, and I look at him like it seems like you're acting. Like this actually seems where you're fake. Like I know you're probably very similar to your real person right now.
I hope
But
not.
like you seem like the fake. Like Dwight is acting as this like schlubby slacker kind of.
He had that one
Anyway.
TV show where he was like this cool, laid back cop guy or something, right? And
The Rocker?
It looked no, this is a TV show, and he just couldn't take it serious.
I'm enjoying this talk that's not about the Meg because it's the Meg.
It
Anyways,
doesn't have to be about it, man.
right?
This-
Yeah.
Anybody
I'm
see
just
him
like-
in
part of this.
House of a Thousand Corpses?
Yeah, I saw a trivia about him in House of a Thousand Corpses. Didn't he become like a monster or something like that?
They turned him into a big spoiler alert here. They turned him into a mermaid like statue.
Right.
What?
Yeah,
They,
for
like,
all those
stuffed him
House
and
of a
mounted
Thousand
him
Corpse
and made him into a
heads out
mermaid.
there. All those people really, really waiting to see that.
Wait, he
House of
turned into a
Thousand Corpses.
statue, or was he alive?
No, they killed him. Dr. Satan like taxidermied him and made him into like a mermaid sculpture.
Oh,
This may be my
Seriously?
favorite part of a recap.
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
This is great.
So anyways, he gets off the helicopter and he's kind of like a laid back billionaire because he's got his Nikes on, and he's kind of got the look that Samuel Jackson had in Kingsman.
Yeah, or
But Samuel
like
Jackson can really do
or like
it.
Capital One commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he's supposed to be kind of like he's supposed to be like a
New
Silicon
Age?
Valley,
I don't
New
know.
Age, yeah, almost like a Steve Jobs-y type thing as well, where it's like they're going down this elevator and he's like, don't you want something like, we want something like real flashy. And he's
Well,
like,
all right.
really?
So first, the helicopter does land at like an offshore drilling rig,
Right,
which
yeah.
is a marine biology research station that he is funding.
Right, yeah.
And so he meets up with the main scientist and his daughter and then granddaughter, and he tries to speak some Chinese, and it's totally horribly
Bullshit,
wrong.
yeah.
But then, yes, they get in an elevator to go down.
And he's like, this looks like shit. Like, I thought I was paying billions of dollars to have something like fancy.
Yeah.
And it opens and it's like
It's amazing.
this crazy futuristic thing. And this is what really, I think, threw my wife was like, she wasn't really looking for a future action film where everything was like shiny and like she wanted like sharks and someone.
dirty.
She wanted someone
dirty
trapped
sharks.
in a submersible trying to get away from a shark, not all this billionaire, lab shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, so he's down there. He's meeting the crew who he's paying, and they are searching on the sea floor for a point deeper on the ocean's surface or on the ocean floor than the Marianas Trench.
Right. Yeah.
So they think they found it. It's got like a, how do you describe it? Was it a hydrogen cloud over
yeah.
it or
Hydrogen
something?
sulfide cloud is
They
made it
kind
so
of
that
masked it.
Yeah, it made it so that everyone would have thought it was the bottom of the ocean, but really it was just a barrier of a gas that they could pass right through.
Yep.
So everyone would have stopped at that point, but they're going to keep on going.
And one of the big things here is, well, they send the team down immediately.
Yeah,
they're
right away.
already going.
This is like the big thing. That's why the billionaire's there. He's going to see the success of the mission.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they get down through a thermocline, which is very important in a little bit.
Yeah, scientifically.
Yes. So they get down through the thermocline, and then they get to the ocean floor, and then they're able to pass through. And there's like a whole nother world down there.
Giant shit everywhere. It looks prehistoric-y, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they're
it's
like
almost
talking
like,
to them and they're like, oh, is it like Jurassic
Neptune
Park?
Factor?
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like, oh, it is like Neptune Factor. I thought you were going to say Jurassic Park again.
No.
But so they go down there and they're like amazed, and everyone's super happy, and they're like cheering until they lose contact with submersible because it gets hit by a large creature. At this point, I don't think we really know it's. Well, we know it's a shark because we went to the Meg, like we're watching a movie about a shark.
We know what we're in
but
for.
They don't know necessarily what it is.
And also, right before this, it was really odd. They dropped off, so they have all this money, and they're in a sub, and they drop off a little Land Rover, which to me seems odd. Why not just use a traditional ROV? Or you're already in a sub.
I don't know.
It's weird.
I don't know.
But,
I'm sorry.
But they mention it later. The little Land Rover almost cost as much as the Evolution, which was the sub they were in.
Honestly,
what?
I don't even remember the small thing. Did it play any factor in the movie?
Yeah, it was the first thing taken out before
cool.
their sub even got hit.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so anyways, they're like, oh shit, we've lost this submersible down there. Like, and right away, Mac is like, which is funny because that was the name of the guy in the Neptune Factor.
Yeah,
Mac.
it was.
I think. Anyways, Mac is like, we got to get Jonas over here. Jonas Taylor. We got to get him over here because he's the only person who's ever done a rescue like this. And
these people are 6 miles down.
So they head off. They take the billionaire's helicopter and they head to Thailand, where Statham is just bumming around. Looks like he's got a pretty good life.
He's got a pretty cool straw hat on.
Yeah, and he basically does some bullshit out there. I don't know.
Nobody really knows.
Yeah, he's got like a boat and shit. I don't know.
I think he's running out boats.
Yeah, he's got like a boat rental thing, kind of like Anaconda.
Oh, yeah.
You know that movie Anaconda?
Yeah, it's a good
like
movie.
that one.
Good one.
He also is, like, the guy accuses him of being drunk all the time.
Yeah, he's like an alcoholic, I guess.
But he's not, like, a stumbling drunk, which
He's
is
also-
what you would want.
He's also ripped.
He is.
Yeah, he's still like working out a whole bunch.
Yeah, you're not just sitting there. All right.
You'd have
how
to
many
be. He's
alcoholics
got-
you guys know that are, like, ripped like Statham?
None, I gotta say. And so anyways, yeah, they convince him, I guess, because he kind of wants to be proven true. This was like what he said the whole time, right? That it's a creature down there.
And nobody believed him.
And no one believed him, and now they want to bring him back.
Yeah,
And so
but
he can
also,
prove true. And
when they get to his apartment, he's like, you guys are going to come here. You're going to ask me to go on this dangerous dive. And I'm going to tell you no. And I'm going to tell you no on this reason, for this reason, this reason, this reason. And then within 2 seconds, they convince him. He's like, all right, I'll go.
yeah, he goes.
What?
And so anyways, as they're returning, Suyin, the daughter of the main scientist, she decides, screw this, I'm going down, and I'm going to
save those people.
So she jumps in the submersible, pulls out her figurative dick, and literal dick. No, figurative dick. And then down goes the submersible, and dive. But almost immediately, Statham, like, basically it happens like right before Statham's there.
Yep.
Because she gets in trouble, because there's a fucking shark down there. Oh no, and also because of an octopus, right?
A giant squid.
Cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She gets attacked by a giant squid. It's not looking so hot for her until the shark actually kind of saves her.
Yes, because it is about to crush. Where she's way past crush depth, but
Yeah.
she almost gets crushed by a giant squid.
Right, yeah.
And it's just about to crack the hull, and all of a sudden it lets off because the Meg is chomping on it.
Right. So she's kind of saying that, and Statham quickly jumps in his submersible. He pulls out his dick and is like, I missed you. Like, I haven't been a captain of a submarine in a little while, but here I am. And the dick looks up and goes, here you are. And then he bends down real quick and does some yoga and kisses it. And everyone's like, whoa, he's actually pretty flexible for an alcoholic.
Wow.
Right?
I don't recall that scene.
Well, I mean, they talk about it. It's a whole yoga scene that's in the middle of it.
Oh.
I did have the extended yoga edition, though.
Oh, okay. Good.
Right. Yeah, it's a different edition. And then down goes his submersible, and he dives like super fast. Like, that's part of it. Like, he's going to pass out.
He diverts all power from everything in his submersible, which is no joke named Captain Bubbles.
Sure.
Named
I didn't even know that.
by the granddaughter. And yeah, he does almost black out because they have some kind of metric sensors on him, and you can see his O2 is dropping, everything, and he doesn't care, man. He's in tip-top physical condition. He gets down there.
He gets to Soo-in before the shark gets to her, and he's like, get the fuck out of here. Now that you're like, everything's up, go back to the surface. I got the submarine.
Right, because her submersible is now damaged.
Yeah, and she's not going to be able to really say. She had stayed down there because she wanted to save the people, but he's like, I'm here. I can save the people. You go up because it's not going to work out very well if you get crushed.
And also this whole time we're getting like cut scenes to the people who are trapped in the sub, and the one person we forgot to mention is it's actually Statham's ex-wife.
That really doesn't have a huge factor in the movie.
No, it really doesn't. But then at some point they flip the lights back on, and
that's what attracts the shark.
Yeah, it brings the shark back.
It's almost
and
like
it smacks into him.
It's like a movie, Jurassic Park.
Oh, there you go.
Right. Yeah.
Phototaxis.
Exactly.
Brings things to the light. So yeah, the shark smacks into him, and at this point, a screwdriver jams into his ex-wife's abdomen. Not a huge deal overall in the movie.
No, because in the end, Statham gets there, starts to get people out of the submersible, and all of a sudden it's clear that the shark's going to be going to get them. And not Toshi. Is that his name, Toshi?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So Toshi, he sacrifices himself. He closes the hatch, releases the submersible, and then attracts the shark to the little submersible to allow them to escape. And so he saves everyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then next scene, what do we get? Shirtless Statham.
Thank God. I've been waiting for it.
Yeah, dude, he's just getting done showering, and Soo-in comes in and starts blaming him because he left Toshi down there to die. How could he do that? So that was also a pain point for him because people blamed him for all those other people dying. But
yeah, it probably doesn't help his psyche that immediately in his next mission he also has to leave someone to die. Not
like, oh yeah, now I remember why I really like doing this.
Right. Yeah.
Soo-in does notice the rockin' hot bod of Jason Statham in the scene, though.
She immediately noticed it. Actually, it was funny because they talk about this ex-wife stuff. I'm like, oh, it's going to be a story of like one of those classic things where they realize their differences weren't so great after all, and they actually should be together. And then immediately Soo-in's like, who dat? As they like look around a corner at like Statham in the shower. I'm like, oh no, I guess they're going to be together.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I guess they did get divorced for a particular reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so anyway, then we start getting some of the history on the Megalodon because people are realizing that the Megalodon is real.
And so from the book, one of the things was that he had been out of the game for so long as being like a rescuer that he became obsessed with the shark and became a paleontologist. And that's why he knew so much about like the Megalodon and why they knew so much about it being a Megalodon. Here, they just blew past it. Like immediately they were like, it was a Megalodon. Like, you mean the extinct creature? Like, what are you talking about?
Well, I mean, it's easier to be like, oh, he's an alcoholic who rents boats. We can just go grab him. Then he's some paleontologist.
He's now like a successful paleontologist.
Yeah, we got to go get him from his lecture class he's teaching. That'd be a bit weirder of a sell.
It'd be like Indiana Jones.
True.
Yeah. Like it'd be that other movie, Indiana Jones, or that movie, Jurassic Park,
or Inception.
All of them.
What if this was all within the dream of the shark?
Or Statham's dream as he decided not to leave the people behind and everything exploded. It's like the moment before he died.
Oh, because he actually blacked out on the Rogue?
Yeah. Anyways, so they're like, what are we going to do about this bullshit, like this shark? And some people are like, we got to tell the Chinese government about the shark. And some people are like, no, what we're going to do is they'll know about like they'll know about our secret, like blah, 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 all this shit. And the daughter, Soo-in's daughter or whatever, sees the shark like chomp on the station. She's like walking around these water tubes as they're discussing like their problem, and underwater, and this giant shark bites the tube.
Yep. Because it has been able to pass through the thermocline because when the Evolution crashed through, it hit a thermal vent, which is letting up all sorts of hot water and kind of created a pathway for sharks to travel because before it was too cold, they couldn't get through it.
Right. And so they decide, you know what? We're going to done fuck up the shark.
Yeah.
Right? Because like they don't want to tell the government, they don't want to have things shut down. So they do agree, okay, we're going to poison the shark. We have a strategy. What we're going to do is have you seen Statham's body? And everyone's like, yeah. And like, this guy can swim for miles. Okay. Just let's be clear about it. Like, he can swim forever. So we're going to put him in the water with some poison, and he's going to shoot the shark.
Yeah. This like
And Statham's like, this is a terrible
it's like
plan.
80-foot shark. Yeah.
But
We're
he
gonna
does it
put you,
anyways,
yeah,
yeah.
no protection other than your wetsuit. Get in there.
I did like that where they kind of did like a drawing straws type thing, and he kind of Statham like looked around at everyone and was like, oh, God, fuck this.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll do it.
Obviously, no one else is going to be able to do this. Like, I will do this.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they track the shark out. Did they hit it with a tracker, or they just kind of found it or something?
Well, yeah. So they have to hit it with a tracker, and because it's going to get away fast, and it's out there already destroying boats. And the harpoon gun they have will only shoot 100 feet.
Right, yeah.
Which is pretty darn close to get to that shark. So that's why they send Statham in the water. He does quite the incredible dive right into the water. And
He was a professional diver. I don't know if you knew that.
really?
Yeah, he competed in the Commonwealth Games for Britain as like a high diver.
Oh, well, that's why it looks so legit.
Yeah. You can see it online if you want to see it.
Ooh.
I did watch
You want to
that.
see even more skin.
How much Jason Statham fun facts did you delve into?
This is actually just general knowledge that I
Okay.
have in my brain. This is not
Okay,
written
good.
down. Yeah.
All right, you did not ruin my countdown entirely.
Partially.
Only
Well,
partially.
you don't know because I know a lot of facts just in my head.
Okay, no, that's good. I'm good. I'm good with that.
They might just come off.
That'll
my
give you
dome.
an
I have no
advantage.
idea.
So anyways, after he tags the shark with the tracker, it starts chasing him, and it seems like he's out swimming it for a second.
It does.
But he's also on a cable, and he realizes he can't outswim it, and the cable can't pull him fast enough. So they just gun the boat and start dragging him, and it's like he's tubing without the tube.
And it does work. It's wildly successful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now they've been tracking it, and how do they get they poison it at this point? Was it the Was it
It
tracker
was on a
also poison?
spear, and he got it in his mouth somehow. I forget too.
I can't.
Well, yeah,
recall.
they so at another point they lower a shark tank into the water.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's right.
Because they can't just shoot it in the skin because it's not going to penetrate. So they need to get it in an area where they can do that, a soft spot, either like an eye, maybe in the mouth, wink, wink. So
Or the dick,
that's true.
shark dick.
Yeah, that's right. And
Shark
Su
dick.
Yin was the one that got in the shark tank
Yes.
Yeah.
and shot him in the mouth.
Yep, because the megalodon starts eating the tank, and it's some kind of special polycarbonate that absolutely will not break.
Right.
And she's able to shoot it right in the mouth. And Statham he dives in because now we got some great stuff going on. Now we got a crane involved, which is awesome.
That's right.
So the crane has lowered the shark tank into the water, and once the Meg starts pulling on this thing, that crane's going wild. It's even pulling the boat, knocking people off left and right, which they seem uninjured from, which seems
Ruby
kind
Rose
of
should have
crazy.
died 100%.
Oh yeah,
She got drilled.
absolutely.
Yeah. And this was also like the crane. Was this another one where the crane like fell off and they had to get her out before it like
Before
pulled
it
her to the
sank
bottom?
down, yeah, that's why Statham dove in.
It's very Abyss-like as well, right? Wasn't that the Abyss? Or what was that? That was
Yeah.
something. Yeah, it was the
Yeah, it
Abyss,
was the
right?
Abyss. Yeah.
Yeah. All these movies mixing in my mind, especially when the Meg rips all of them off.
Well, dude, it is what it is.
So they poison this megalodon, and they're like super thrilled about it. They got it up on like a line there, like kind of like taking pictures with it. They're pretty happy with having killed this thing.
Oh yeah,
But Statham looks at it in a very Jaws moment, looks at it and goes, those jaws aren't big enough, given the bite that we saw on the tank or on the research
glass.
center.
Yeah,
Like, he's like looking at it, he's like, no way. Like, there's a bigger shark. And at that moment, when he realizes that there's actually a second shark out there, it jumps up and just chomps.
yeah.
Down
It's like,
on-
oh, thanks for hanging this food for me.
Yeah. Totally chomps, kills one of the people.
Kills the wall.
Yeah, the wall.
Big fat.
Eats the
nerd.
other shark, and off it goes. And now they're all freaked out. The boat's destroyed, and they have to go back to the research center on little dinghies as they go along. And they're like,
Yeah.
it's time to warn. Even the billionaires, like, you know what? I've decided I'm going to tell the Chinese government about this, and they're going to take care of it. And
They're going to send in destroyers, and
Yeah.
they will take care of the Meg.
right. But He was fucking lying.
Oh, yeah, he was, because he gets in a helicopter.
Yeah, that night.
And he gets some depth charges.
He decides, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going old school submarine style, and I'm depth charging the shit out of this.
Another check mark. Got it.
Somehow depth charge in a futuristic shark submarine movie.
Oh, yeah.
Seems crazy.
Made out of Semtex. And the guy's like, it's not a depth charge, but it's basically a depth charge.
Right.
And they start pulling down there. And I saw this from a million miles away because the body came up, and I'm like, they just killed a whale.
Yep.
It's just a fucking whale. So they go down, and they're like, we got it. And they're looking at like, it's a fucking whale. And then the shark comes.
Well, it's funny because he's like, hit it again. Because he's seen how big this shark is. And they hit it again, and all that does is just throw all these guts up. And the guy in the helicopter is like, covered in it. And he's like, I think we got it.
Yeah. And so he's down there, but then they decide to obviously run away because they're scaredy cats and the shark's coming for them. And they gun the boat, and out tumbles the billionaire. They don't even hear him because it's the motor's so loud.
Yep.
And he tries to climb onto this whale, but he gets killed at this point.
I mean, I guess that's the only place you can go, but it's also the worst place you can go.
Yeah, so that basically ends any chance of really letting the government know about the shark, because everyone thinks that he's told the government, and now this billionaire is gone. So they just think, this eccentric billionaire told the government and he's gone. We're pretty much we're at the climax at this point.
Yeah.
Because the shark heads towards, where was it? Sanya Bay, where there's this crazy huge statue. And all these tourists, and it was very Jaws-like, where like a little kid's like, I want to swim. And the mom's like, I don't want you to swim. And the kid's like, but I want to swim.
Yeah. And then he goes in and he starts swimming. And we also get...
He swims.
Yeah. So he's out there swimming. And we also see a wedding taking place on a boat.
Oh, yeah, with a dog.
And then Pippin, the Yorkie, decides that it sees some people swimming, so it's going to run down and jumps in the water and starts swimming away, looking very adorable.
Yep.
So cute.
And the bride is screaming, Pippin! Pippin! And all of a sudden, guess who shows up? The Meg.
Yeah. Rule number 1 in films is not to kill a dog. I don't know if you knew that.
I gathered that this dog was not going to die.
Right, exactly. You can't actually kill a dog in a film, or else everyone will hate it.
What about cats?
It was. I'm not sure about cats, but I presume it's similar.
No,
don't really kill animals.
Zach, inform us about your favorite cat getting killed in a movie.
I have a favorite cat getting killed in a movie.
Yes, it's one of your favorite movies.
One of my favorite movies. Well, when I hear about a cat,
it's a David Fincher film.
Cobra.
Yeah.
Cobra.
Yeah.
No, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yes.
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Tattoo. That was my Daniel Craig.
Got mutilated into pieces. That's probably the goriest pet death of all time.
Because what's he do? He's like, cat!
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
My mind immediately went to Boondock Saints, though, when they shoot the cat with the shotgun. And it gets splattered against the wall. You guys seen that?
Yeah, I think we've proven that you can't kill dogs, but cats are fair game.
Hold on. In Vacation, they kill the dog.
That's true.
Chain it to the bumper. And they kill a cat in Christmas Vacation, right?
Yeah.
Do you see it die? Yeah, the cats 100%.
No, you don't see it.
You don't see a dog die on screen. You can't do it.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Oh.
Got to bring that dog back.
Unless it's like really heartfelt. Like,
I mean, wait. What's that movie
Marley
where they
and Me
yank
or
the
something,
dog chain and it yelps and it's dead? What movie's that?
This is a great part of the podcast, I'm sure. As we try to guess
I bet our
movies where
listeners
animals have died. All right. So, anyways, the shark's there. The researchers, Statham and all them, they distract the shark from all the beachgoers using some whale songs.
If they use their phone, and
For sure.
get the whale.
Yeah.
Well, first, it's not fully distracted because, dude, it is screwing people up on the beach.
Yeah.
Some guys are on a raft trying to get with some ladies, and they're like, hey, why don't you come on over here? And all of a sudden, their raft starts drifting over, and then it starts coming over real hot because it's being dragged by the shark.
Yeah. So, anyways, Statham hops in his little submersible. He's like cruising about. The idea is they're going to shoot some poison into that fucking shark's eye. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
He's like, Dick, don't fail me now, as he like cruises about. And he like, basically he's going to get crushed. Like he's not.
Well, they have torpedoes also.
Yeah, and they're shooting the torpedoes, but they're not really working or whatever, right? Like it's
all right. So they shoot one right at the Meg, and I mean, it just kind of, it doesn't do a whole lot, but the thing that this does is it causes a huge plume of water to shoot up in the air, which at this point, news helicopters are all over it. And they're like, oh, hey, what's going on over here? And they're circling the boat. All of a sudden, two of them smack into each other.
Oh, yeah.
Hit the ship that our crew is on, and that goes up in flames. Everybody has to fly or, jump ship. And now it's just crazy because what's her name? Su-Yin?
Yeah.
Su-Yin has to surface, can save her daughter and all these other people. And Statham is down there in his submersible, which he was unable to fire his torpedo. There was some kind of problem with it.
Yeah, it got damaged. So he's basically barely functioning at this point.
Yeah. But what he can do is he can cut this thing.
Yeah. He goes old school. Don't need those weapons. Don't need those torpedoes. He just slices straight into that megalodon. Like, get out of here, Meg.
Yeah. So he's able to flash some lights at it. So it starts coming at him. And then when it goes to eat him, he dives real quick and turns on his side and puts his wing right up in it and just slices it, man.
And you think, oh, but it's a megalodon. It's totally fine. Like, you can't, that's not going to stop it. But guess what will stop it? Like thousands of other sharks coming to get some injured prey.
Well, not yet.
What?
Not yet.
Still not, but there's blood in the water.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, man. Wow. Not yet. Because Statham has to get out of his submersible.
Oh, he does get inside
because
of it,
it's damaged. And
yeah, he's got to put the poison in, right?
Yeah, and then just like
it gets crazier.
Like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, man, takes a harpoon, jabs it like basically into the brain. He goes through the eye into the brain.
Yeah. So it's all,
and it just like shoots out of the water.
Yeah. So it's all immobilized. It's like bleeding. A whole bunch of sharks come. And I don't know if you caught this, but this was the moment where they kind of let you know that there was a little sequel, wink, wink.
Oh, yeah.
Because you saw a little baby megalodon.
That came out of its mouth, though, right?
Right. Yeah, because that's how megalodons give birth.
Oh, really? I didn't think that was setting. I thought that when I first saw it, I'm like, is that setting up for the sequel? And then I thought, no, I just assumed that was one of the sharks that was eating.
I read online that was how they were going to set up the sequel.
Seriously,
that was pretty weak.
that was going to be that it had a baby and that was the baby.
I don't even think I noticed that.
Right, exactly. I was saying it was very subtle, which maybe because they weren't sure they were going to be able to have a sequel to this movie.
Sequel's in development, though.
I mean, it did make money, right?
I made a lot of money. Like 150 million, 200 million, something like that, over like profit.
And so now, like you said, all the sharks are swarming the megalodon, and a hammerhead starts swimming right at Statham. But guess what? Su-Yin, boom, comes in, smacks it with her submersible.
Obviously.
Saves the day.
Yep. And then everyone's like, hooray, we're so happy. Statham and Su-Yin, they're like, I really want to smooch with you, but do you know what? I need a vacation. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. But who do we see? Who do we see when Statham surfaces? Pippin, the dog.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. You can't kill the dog.
Yeah, he made it. He made it through there.
He made it through.
Yeah.
Or was it just another dog?
Named Pippin?
Yeah, sure. No, just like another dog swimming around.
It could have been.
Yeah.
And then at the end, Finn.
Yeah, I know. My wife was like, what was that about? I'm like, well, the joke is that some movies end with the word fin, which means end in Italian. So they did it, but it's also a joke. And she's like, that was the worst. I'm like, yeah, it was. It wasn't good.
You guys.
So.
Did you guys watch the behind the scenes at all on this?
No. Tell us all about it.
Dude, so when they were filming some of those giant like scenes when they're out in the ocean, they have a man-made like pool basically that they're filming in, big enough to see.
Not a natural pool.
No.
It's man-made.
Man-made pool.
Okay.
I know, right?
Right.
Not many of those. And it's just got giant green screens. Look pretty legit though.
Yes, I would have assumed that that's exactly how it was made.
Well, some of it was done out
in the ocean.
Yeah.
What?
Well, you got to find water, right?
Yeah. It's like Waterworld.
And then they also, all the actors had to take a week-long like swimming course because there was all sorts of obviously water action in this. Ruby Rose even said there was a day where she was in the water for 8 hours.
Yeah, she said she almost died, right?
No, nobody almost died. Safety was huge in this.
That's right. It's weird. I saw some trivia online. It's like, oh, Ruby Rose said she almost died one day during filming. And I was like, I don't believe that.
Yeah. Dwight also said that this was particularly challenging because you're so physically exhausted, like when you're treading water the whole time, trying to remember lines, trying to stay in character. And he got done filming one day and got home and was so sore he couldn't even move. Like he said, you were just absolutely beat up by this.
It's a very Dwight thing for him to say.
Yeah, it is.
Cry me a river while you make $5 million.
And the little granddaughter, she didn't even know how to swim before she signed on for this movie.
Good for her.
I know, right?
Yeah.
She learned something.
I don't know how to swim. Maybe I could have been on that movie.
Dude, maybe you could have.
I should have tried out. I'm joking. I can swim.
So what's
Worst
next?
joke ever.
Next is we give our grades, right?
Yeah. Who wants to go first?
Well, should we do
is that
Mustard Man's?
Danzig I hear? Oh, yeah. Let's give Mustard Man's absentee rating.
Yeah. What was it?
I don't see it. Is he supposed to post it on Discord?
I think he was supposed to post it, yes.
So he told me what it was before we started filming.
All right. Can you paraphrase what you think he would have said?
You gotta,
I like that. He gave it a 4.
Great.
All right.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go. Because some of what I talked about, Alex agreed with. So we had the Meg, and I'll start off with a couple of my favorite lines from the movie. Let's just go with, I don't remember which one this was, but I loved this line. Oh, wait. I put my phone in Do Not Disturb. All right.
Some living fossil ate my friend.
Did you guys hear that?
I did, yeah.
Fossil ate
Living
my friend.
fossil ate my friend. Oh, crap. Here's the other one I love.
Lee, are you saying we opened up a super highway for giant sharks?
Not exactly.
Super highway for giant sharks.
It's a very Dwight thing to say.
I loved it when the Asian guy in the beginning before he died said, sex, food, power, money. That cracked me up.
Oh, dude, we totally forgot to mention the, what do they say?
Octopus. Fighting octopus.
You
Giant
need to fight
squid
an octopus,
thing?
man.
It was terrible.
Where they did that the weirdest fist bump you've ever seen on the planet.
It was weird. But it showed that they were really close. Which is why I'm giving this movie a 10. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so the Meg, you know what? This was a movie. This was like a Sharknado with a few more big actors and a hell of a lot more of a budget. Yep. That's how I felt this movie was. Just on par with those Sci-Fi Channel movies. Over the top, a lot of one-liners. Sharks, a lot of this stuff was like almost scene for scene from Jaws. Like in the cage, in the water, get the needle with the poison in the mouth. Same thing happened in Jaws. The beach scene at the end of the movie was ridiculous with the Hey Mickey from the Thai band.
Oh, yeah.
And I linked that song in this chat, but that was funny. Like the one fat little kid was going like, ma, and like she's like, just go out in the water. And then there's like all those people. And then, I mean, how deep is that water anyways? We're talking Thailand. That water's going to be warm. It's not going to be that deep.
China. Isn't it China or is it Thailand? I guess
it was
doesn't
Thailand.
matter.
Whatever. Either way, it was entertaining. I'll never watch it again. I'm going to give it a 5.
Nice.
All right.
I'll hop in there. Can I cut in? Can
this guy cut in?
This movie, The Meg, it reminded me very much, I thought, that it was a sci-fi, deluxe with just bigger budget, as Zach alluded to. Throwing explosions in here and there, I would have thought it was a Michael Bay movie with exploding sub in the beginning. Why was that sub blowing up? And then you got the helicopters crashing into the boat. I'm like, come on, like this is just ridiculous. It was action on top of action on top of action, which I don't mind a lot of action in a movie, but didn't really like build any suspense or almost like horror with what you kind of come to expect with shark movies. There was none of that, and there's a scene that I liked where they were in the sick bay, and Statham was with his ex-wife, the Rebecca Romaine looking chick, and the young Suyin's daughter. And basically, the daughter, Mei Ying, is that what? Mei Ying? And Rebecca Romaine look-alike was like, you should totally hook up with Suyin. And the daughter's like, the little girl's like, yeah, you should definitely get some of that hot Asian poontang. And she like wiggles her eyebrows at him. And Jason Statham just goes, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And that's how I kind of felt about this movie at times. It did have some redeeming qualities. I mean, the CGI was pretty good. There were some times where it had a few weaknesses, but for the most part, I mean, again, there was a lot of action, checked off a lot of our submarine staples, and had some decent CGI, but for the most part, as Zach said, I don't think I'd ever watch this again. I'm going to give it a 5 as well. Also
nice.
Very predictable,
Alrighty.
very predictable, even more so, I'd say, than like Below and some of those movies.
Yeah, Below starring Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. So
Right.
give it a 5.
All right, so I'll go next. So I hotly anticipated this film. We saw a preview for it. My wife was like, I want to see that. And I was like, I'm down. Jason Statham, Big Shark, I'm in. And it is fucking terrible. And I did not like it. I don't know why. Like, sometimes it just bothers me. Like, why do they have to have it set in the future? Why did it have to be this weird, like, everything had to be like extra special, like weird billionaire garbage shit? Like, think of like Independence Day, right? Aliens are attacking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's still normal world. Like, the world is still just like the world that exists as we see it. Then you go to Independence Day Resurgence, the sequel, and all of a sudden Will Smith's son is like moving shit on the moon. Like, that's his like job, is to like transport shit on the moon. It's like, this is not what I came for. I didn't come for you doing crazy weird computer graphic design on the moon. Garbage movie. And
that's what people want.
No.
man.
Wait,
That
the
is not what I
Independence
want.
Day 2 was phenomenal.
Fuck that movie. And so this felt very similar to me. Horrible characters, didn't hold either of our attentions. At a certain point, I was like, I should just turn this off because my wife was just doing work, and then I was stuck watching this by myself. And I was like, I don't want to watch this. Yeah, she was the one who like really, really wanted to see it, and I just thought it was terrible. So the thing is just like you said, looks good. I think if you were maybe in a different state of mind, if you know what I mean, wink, 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 you might have some fun watching this movie. Maybe if you popped a few champagne bottles, maybe 3 or 4 champagne bottles, and drank all of that champagne, you might be feeling pretty good and toasted and ready for this movie. But I was not. Stone cold sober, watching a terrible movie.
Did you get the sense
with
that
terrible actors.
they thought just the American audience did not have the attention span to like get into a story or something like that?
Yeah, I
kind of got that vibe.
Even as I was doing the recap, like it is a very, very basic. I was like, oh, I watched this a little while ago. Hope I remember how it goes. Not very complex. I mean, it's pretty much straightforward. Exactly.
Dude, you didn't
It's like
remember the
5
rover?
action scenes.
Didn't
like,
remember the rover. Yes, that's
to
true. And
back,
I
and
didn't
that's
remember
it.
the end very well, which tells you everything about me and the end of that movie and not wanting to watch it anymore. So anyways, I'm going to give it, because it still looked good, and I could see, like it's got more value than like a TV movie or some shit that looks terrible and doesn't have that at least. Like, I'll give it a 4.5.
All right.
And should I invite her in?
Oh, is that Danzig?
That's my wife Danzig is here.
Sweet.
So here, she hasn't met anyone, but here we go. Why, hello. I do declare my name is Danzig, and I definitely want to see the Meg. Oh, boy. Oh, I really didn't like this movie. I give it 2 stars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, thanks so much,
Yeah,
Danzig.
Oh, Brom, you sound like you got big old muscles. Danzig. Oh, don't do
Wow.
that. She's such a flirt. I'm sorry.
I'm
Brom.
a big fan. That sounds like a very progressive relationship that you're in there.
No. She's just a big old flirt, and woman, right? Woman be shopping, all that stuff.
Woman be shot.
Good Lord.
Now they're going to think we're all losers and none of us are married.
What do you mean? I just heard my wife.
Yeah, dude.
She came down for a second.
Oh, right.
Right.
The Zac Facts version.
Danzig, my wife.
All right, so I'll go last here. You guys are hating on this movie.
Yes.
Wait a minute, folks.
Oh, no.
I think, Brom, do you have an update on Alex?
Wait. Does Alex want to cut in?
I think he wants to cut in.
Zach, I don't know why you'd serve that over the plate when he clearly just said wait.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Damn it, that was so perfectly timed up at like 50 minutes.
Well, you might have to wait a few more minutes.
Okay. So you guys are clearly hating on this movie.
Yes.
And I understand some of it. I don't get all the hate. It was very predictable. There were some things I thought should have happened, but never did. For instance, when the helicopter came in to shoot up the shark, I was fully 100% anticipating the shark taking that helicopter down.
Right. Jumping into the air.
Yeah.
Yep.
That should have happened.
Missed
It didn't
opportunity.
happen.
Right.
But what can you do, man? I thought Statham was, pretty good. He did all his own stunts.
Sure. I think he did his Statham stuff. I don't think we needed him to do anything more than he did, probably.
No, nothing like that.
I think he's a good actor to kind of follow around, although I don't remember the last movie I saw with him in it that I actually liked, honestly.
Right, yeah. No, I mean, he's kind of, just got that, I'm the muscly guy, but in this it worked. He was like Ed Harris in The Abyss.
Sure. Yeah.
But none of the other characters you really cared that much about when they would die. It was kind of like, all right, you knew that person was going to go.
Yeah, they're not Jason Statham, so they're going to die probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was glad Pippin lived, obviously. And
right, yes, the classic movie thing. Don't kill the dog.
Visuals were good. Storyline, very predictable. Like you guys had mentioned, I did feel this was kind of like a sci-fi movie made for big screen. I don't know. It's like a 5.8.
Yeah, see? I feel like that makes some sense. It's not good. I would have had trouble putting it up into like the 6 and the 7 range.
Yeah. Definitely.
I know,
that's
what
6.
I couldn't like go to the 6, but I was still enjoying it, but it's not complex at all.
That's the thing. I guess that's the thing. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you did, then you can go higher.
Did you say 5.8, Kyle?
I did.
That's interesting. Can we count down 5.8, 5.7, 5.6, 5.5, 5.4, 5.3, 5.2, 5.1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
What?
Alex!
Hey, I'm here.
There he is.
Sorry about that, everyone. Had a little technical difficulty.
All right.
Fixed. What did you guys say? We got
a 5.8 from Kyle and a couple of 5s from Zach and I think Jamie came with a 4.5, and Danzig hopped on the podcast, flirted a little bit, but ultimately gave a 2-star review.
Yeah, well, mine's going to be a 4.
Mm-hmm.
It was watchable. I don't think I'll watch it again. There were some funny parts. I couldn't tell if they were trying to really be like a serious, scary movie, but then they had a lot of dumb parts in it. And I don't think Rainn Wilson's a very good actor outside of television. So his character was really weird to me the entire time he was on screen. There was a little bit of submersible and sub action in it, which was okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm totally fine with that. But a giant megalodon, I think they could have done it a little bit better. It felt like to me when I was watching it, like this was the third reiteration of the script that they had worked on after they threw away 2 really good ones. And then they got stuck with this one. That's what I'm guessing. So I'm going to go with the 4.
I could see that. There is really big potential here.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just off. And I agree with totally
exactly.
what you say with Rainn Wilson. I just can't see him in his role. It was too odd for him.
Yeah, every once in a while I feel like the reviews come out, because this is a movie that did not qualify for a bad movie, even though I think it probably should have. After watching it, I'm like, that should have gotten low enough ratings to qualify for a bad movie, twins.com.
5.7 is pretty weak for an IMDb score.
Right, but as Rotten Tomatoes score, I don't believe it qualified, right? Wasn't it over? Anyways,
I don't know.
I think it got like okay reviews. And sometimes that happens, and I feel like it happens for some reason. Sometimes it'll be an actor where they're like, "Oh no, it was pretty good, right?" And then later they're like, "Yeah, that was pretty shitty." And this one, I feel like it was like almost because it was crazy and wasn't like a complete train wreck. People were like, "Nah, it's better. It's like fun, right? You had fun, right?" And then in the end, it's like, see, I don't know. I don't necessarily just have fun because there's a giant shark. Like there has to be like other fun stuff, like fun actors and fun lines. And
Yeah.
And there were some, but just like it didn't really hold my attention real. Anyways, can keep on going.
All right.
I was kind of hoping for a steamier love story.
Ooh,
you know?
yeah, I wanted.
But-
yeah, we needed some more of that Statham bod, baby. Right? That's what you're saying.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
Get the ex-wife back together. Get that Asian lady in there. Get them all together.
Ooh.
That's what I'm talking about.
Whoa. Anyways, trivia, guys. You want to hear some trivia?
No.
Let's
There's
go
a lot
for
for
it.
this one. Okay, so there were a lot of homages to Jaws. The theme was played at one point. That young boy that's straight out of Jaws, if you remember, the second victim in Jaws is like a kid who's like, I want to go in the water. And the mom's like, man. And the mom was wearing a similar swimsuit in those two movies. And then when Jonas realized the teeth marks were too big on the station match, that was straight out of Jaws as well. Where it's like, this doesn't make sense. It's bigger than that as we look at the thing. Also, this film was based on the book Meg, a novel of deep terror. First book by author Steve Alton. He made a couple sequels to that as well. So there's multiple Meg books out there. And when it was first published in 1997, Disney bought the film rights for $1 million. It went into turnaround, but then they got cold feet because in 1999, a little movie called Deep Blue Sea came out, and they were afraid that they weren't going to be able to kind of return on the movie because another similar movie was coming out. Kind of like an Armageddon Deep Impact type situation.
Oh yeah, Deep
But
Impact.
they did-
everybody.
They
knows
did release
so well.
those.
Yeah.
So Alton, frustrated with the lack of movement, wrote his own draft, which he showed to Nick Nunziata, who then just delivered it to Guillermo del Toro, and he took the project to Lawrence Gordon and Lloyd Levin, but they never actually made it.
Oh man, dude,
So,
a
yeah.
Del Toro movie would have been really awesome.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff in the book that was a little different. In the book, because the sharks are from like below, way deep in the ocean, they're like luminescent and pure white. But
That's
that was
sweet.
difficult to make realistic in the CGI, so they just made them look like regular sharks.
Yeah, I guess if you did that in CGI, it would have looked pretty tacky.
Yeah, it was the same thing with, they originally had it, in the book they have it where the Meg only attacks at night because it can't see, because it lives in the darkness.
Oh.
So it can only come out at night. And then there was a much bigger submarine plot line in the book where a nuclear submarine is one of the things that tries to track and kill, sent by the Navy, but the Megalodon is able to kill it or destroy it. And then in the book, also, the Meg gives birth to 3 babies, but 2 of them are killed. And then the baby that survives is what becomes the shark for the sequels.
Is that what becomes Meg?
What? Becomes Angel. It's called Angel.
Angel?
Yeah.
It's not a name for a killer fish.
Anyways. And then, okay, talking about like early development stuff and who could have been in this and who wasn't in this. In early stages, in 1997, George Clooney was attached.
Oh.
Eli Roth was at one point attached to direct before being replaced by Jon Turteltaub. Roth left due to creative differences. He wanted an R-rated film and a $150 million budget, which they did not give him. And he also wanted to star. He wanted to have the lead role. So he wanted to write, direct, and star in the film. But they
Who was
said,
that?
fuck that. Eli Roth.
Oh, okay.
And then when Disney Hollywood Pictures first bought the rights to the right novel in 1996, they hired Tom Wheeler, who was a writer and producer, to write the screenplay. His script was not considered to be very good, so they hired another screenwriter, Jeffrey Boehm, who is well known for writing scripts for the films Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, The Lost Boys, Inner Space, Lethal Weapon 2, and Lethal Weapon 3. But his screenplay was also rejected because they considered it not very good.
Dang.
So those two.
I mean, those are some, fairly big movies.
Right. So, casting what ifs.
Oh.
Who would have done well in this film? What about Harrison Ford from Last Crusade?
Absolutely.
Lead character Harrison Ford?
Yeah. Well, not now.
No, not now. I'm saying, yeah. We're talking primo Harrison Ford.
Yes.
We're talking like just post Han Solo Harrison Ford.
Oh, then yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it was now, I would make him be the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
He could even have been like the billionaire, like made that character better.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about Sean Connery, also from Last Crusade? But Sean Connery now.
Oh, now?
Yeah. No, Sean Connery.
I'd make Sean Connery would be now.
Ruby
Sean
Rose.
Connery now would be one of the guys on the raft in the beach scene trying to hit on women.
Yeah. And they'd be like, yes, please. That's Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Ever heard of him? What about Kiefer Sutherland from Lost Boys? You guys met Kiefer, right?
No, Donald.
Alex met Donald.
Okay.
You still remember that,
How
Alex?
do you even know?
Yeah.
How does he know about that?
It's been mentioned before.
Dude,
on the podcast.
everybody knows about you meeting Donald Sutherland.
It was mentioned before when I talked about Kiefer, and you were like, "Oh, yeah, Alex met him," and then they were like, later in the podcast, I think they were like, "Actually, it was I think it was Donald." So, anyways, what about Kiefer?
Yeah, Donald could be in there too.
For sure.
They could all be in
Yeah.
it.
Sutherland boys, back at it.
Yeah, for sweet. What about Dennis Quaid from Inner Space?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He reminds me a lot of Harrison Ford.
yeah, he does.
He's younger.
He's kind of like
So-
he was always riding. He was like kind of riding the Harrison Ford wave. I feel like it's like, oh, we can't get Harrison Ford. Is Dennis Quaid available?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Did you ever see him
Exactly
in
what I
movie
think of it.
43?
I saw movie 43, but I remember nothing from it.
Oh, my God.
What about Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon 2?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. That's just a plain yes, all the characters.
Mel Gibson.
Directing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want him directing. What about Ed Harris? He was in Lethal Weapon 2. I don't know if you remember this, but he was the bad guy named Rip Musselman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a tough bad guy because one of the things was because of all the grease that he had all over him. It was hard to catch him.
Yeah, he would probably actually have a protective barrier around him because, oil and water, they separate.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah.
Meg tried to bite him.
I actually
Pops right
I
up.
would like him to I would like him to play the Meg though. What about that?
Oh, if he was voicing the Meg, kind of like a Benedict Cumberbatch
I want him.
type
I want a
situation
motion
with
capture.
the dragon.
I want a motion capture, but it's still his face.
Oh, that'd be, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Just a,
I would watch it. Yeah.
and he's just swimming around. He's got his hands down at his side, wiggling around through the water.
It's monstrous.
Oh, my God.
The Ed.
Disgusting. The Ed, perfect. Ed TV.
They could probably get him like in the water and then motion capture him that way too.
For
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
It would
It,
be
would, it
beautiful.
wouldn't look good. but
Getting the dailies.
at that point, I think they don't care. It's just,
Like, look, guys,
throw it in.
he's letting us do this. Just do it.
All right, and quickly finish up with some Phantom Zone.
Engage the Phantom.
Phantoms engaged, sir.
So everyone could probably say this along with me because I've used Jason Statham before in this. Whole
Have you?
Stuff. Oh yeah, because
Oh, how can I forget?
he was in he was in Mechanic Resurrection, which stars Tommy Lee Jones as a super weirdo billionaire who owns his own submarine, right? And Tommy Lee Jones was in Under Siege, where Seagal does something with the submarine. I've seen it.
Does he, like karate chop it?
He looks at it from the shore at one point, and then it like blows up. Anyway,
That sounds about right.
and then from there we can get from Glen Meschauer, we can get to Pearl Harbor, and we know where to go from there.
Oh, yeah,
Pearl
man.
Harbor with Billy Fichtner, straight up.
Right to Phantom.
Straight to Phantom.
Dang.
Dang.
Can always be done. All right, it's time for Subs Worldwide. It's Subs Worldwide. But it's not Subs Worldwide today because we watched the Megalodon, and
Oh my God.
I was like, well, let's just go ahead and
Sharks
do the
worldwide.
Megalodon.
Sharks
You're
Worldwide?
doing the Megalodon, so like a living submarine.
A living submarine.
Oh my God.
Almost the size of a submarine.
Well, they gave us a lot of the specs in the movie.
Exactly. That's why it's easy for me. All right. So this is an extinct species of shark that literally means big tooth.
Ooh.
Yes. It lived approximately 23 to 2.6 million years ago. You guys know what periods those are? Who doesn't? Early Miocene to the end of the Pliocene.
Nice.
That's probably not even how you say those. So originally,
I mean, they're definitely in my top 10 eras,
think it-
I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's Pliocene, maybe.
Pliocene.
I don't
All
know.
right.
I don't know.
I think it's
Pliocene, Isla, whatever.
Pliocene.
Yeah, dude,
gotta
whatever,
do it.
man.
Pliocene.
Say it how,
You
say it
gotta-
how it looks.
You got to round those O's. Pliocene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. So, I can't round it now.
No.
Originally, it was thought to be a relative of the great white shark, but recently there was almost a unanimous decision that says no, this belongs to the extinct family Otodonte
Bullshit.
today, whatever it is. So, unlike the great white, which attacks things in their soft spots, the megalodon has such crushing ability that it could literally just cave in a chest cavity and pierce the lungs and heart. You don't need to worry about it, man. It just goes for it. You guys know what brought around the end of the megalodon?
Ice Age.
Yes.
Wow.
The temperature of the water dropped.
Do you know how I knew that?
How?
Because it's a part of the book, The Meg.
Oh, interesting. So there have been fragmented remains. There hasn't, to this day, there hasn't been like a large, full skeleton found.
As God wants us to find those fossils.
Yes. So there are fragmented remains that have been found, which kind of gives us a range of sizes that people believe that there could have been. All the way. So some people said max this would get was 43 foot.
Bullshit.
Somebody said, no, max this could get is 82 foot.
Right. Okay. That sounds more reasonable.
But then it seems like people kind of settled somewhere in the middle. Commonly agreed maximum size is 59 foot, which is huge anyways, with an
Speak for
average
yourself.
size of about 34 feet. So to put that in perspective, the max size of a great white shark ever recorded is 20 foot, and a whale shark was 42.
It's,
I know, whale
I want that
sharks
to be
are
like
pretty
90.
huge. I know, right? Don't you want to be like, this is like a 200-foot shark.
Right.
So
Fudge those numbers a little bit. Make it 200.
Good. So it's pretty heavy. The males have a mass between 12.6 to 33.9 tons, and the females are a little thicker at 27.4 to 59.4 tons.
69.4?
Yeah, 59.
69
Close enough.
though. Right, yeah.
Yeah. And based on a study of swim rates of biological creatures of the water, they decided that the megalodon would swim at approximately a rate of 18 kilometers per hour.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's a good clip.
I think so.
Almost as fast as I can run.
Ooh, almost. But you are speedy. A Florida man actually has a tooth from a megalodon. It's the largest specimen of one, and it measures in
Just
point.
like a Florida man.
Yeah,
Ah,
Florida man, 7.25 inches. It's a pretty big tooth.
yeah. Not okay. I started on a joke, but then I was like, I'm done. I've made too many.
And most of the time, well, the megalodon's actually been found all over the place. Most of the time, it's found in subtropical and temperate climates. Well, its remains are. And it is potentially the most powerful predator to ever have lived.
Really?
But then you look at us.
Right.
We're
Greatest
top
predator of all.
dogs.
What do they call it? The most dangerous prey? Humans.
Yeah, sure.
And the most dangerous predators. Because as you know from the movie Predator,
Yeah.
where it turned out a predator couldn't defeat Arnold Schwarzenegger. Or Predator
No one
2,
can.
where they couldn't defeat Danny Glover.
Predator 2 is amazing.
Predator 2 is one of the funniest, weirdest, worst, greatest things I've ever seen.
Dude, the opening scene of that is so action-packed. All right, anyways.
The amount of cocaine that must have gone into Predator 2.
Oh.
Anyways.
So great. Alex, while you were canoodling with your computer, figuring out what the heck was going on, were you able to find anything?
For some news?
Yeah.
You guys think I was looking up news?
You guys think I was actually looking up news? All right. Couple of quick things. Russia has revealed nuclear submarine drones that can fire weapons at the U.S. Well, I guess it could be anywhere, but, you got to make it sound like it's us versus them. So, pretty unique. I guess that they can attach to just regular submarines, and then they float them on out for like a regular drone, except it's in water. And then they carry a bomb or two, or I don't know how many exactly. They could carry 8 drones total. So, whatever. So that's kind of scary. I guess I never really thought that you could have drones underwater doing that kind of stuff. I get the air stuff, but I never thought about it underwater. So that's pretty unique.
Yeah.
Scary. But if Russians have it, sure, we've got it too.
Because
probably
Trump
better.
gave it to him.
Exactly. They're probably better, faster. Exactly. Yeah. A German World War I submarine somehow resurfaced off the French coast the other day.
Wait, really?
Yep.
Oh, my word, boys.
So, it was big enough to hold 20 members. It was the UC-61, and it sank more than a century ago.
How many survivors were on board?
Oh, well, that's a good question. I don't know.
I know.
Oh, you do know?
0.
Oh, did they all die?
Didn't you say a World War I sub?
Well, they're probably not alive today. That's what you're asking.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Oh yeah, I don't. They're probably dead, but I don't for sure dead. But I don't know if any survived at the time. Article doesn't say. I'll do some research and get back to you on that next week.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. That's all I found.
Nice. That was pretty good.
I didn't really look too long, sorry, but
But you got something.
if you guys found something, I'd be more than willing to listen.
All right. Thank you, Alex. On to Brom.
Countdown, it's countdown. When you're going down, get some countdown. Tube 3 ready to fire, sir. Commence the countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Give it to me.
Well, guys, I've got a little countdown contest for us. We're going to be looking at some fun facts here. This is how well do you know your action stars? So in this film, The Meg, we had 2 headlining big name action stars going toe to toe: Jason Statham and Rainn Wilson.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I want you guys to tell me which one is which for each of these little fun facts. All right. It's going to be a little contest. So number 1, this actor ran a one-man moving company out of his van. Kyle, who do you think?
It's between those
Rainn
two?
Wilson. Rainn
Statham
Wilson.
versus Rainn Wilson. Okay, Jamie?
Wilson.
Alex?
Statham.
Zach?
Jason.
All right. The correct answer is Rainn Wilson.
Oh, yes.
What?
Boom.
No way.
Yeah, Rainn Wilson ran a one-man moving company with the van that he was given for his wedding. Before
nice.
What was the name of the company?
I don't know. Mother
When
and
it
Son
rains, it
Moving
pours.
Company.
Yeah.
When it rained. Of course.
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't have to.
This actor made his big break during a period of time where he was stealing and reselling jewelry and perfume. Zach.
Jason.
Alex.
I'm going to say this is after his moving company, Rainn Wilson.
All right. Jamie.
It's going to be Jason Statham.
And Kyle.
It's got to be Statham.
Correct answer, Jason Statham.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit like it's a Statham.
He got cast in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, or whatever the hell it's called, because they needed a guy that actually had the chops to be like a real criminal. So they created the character Bacon for Jason Statham.
Dang.
Number 3. This actor nearly perished on set when the vehicle he was filming in submerged underwater. Jamie, what do you think?
Jason Statham.
Alex?
Rainn Wilson.
Zach?
Jason.
And Kyle?
It's got to be that scene in The Office where Michael Scott drives right into the lake. Rainn Wilson.
I worded it that way to trap some people because it was Jason Statham. The brakes gave out on the truck he was driving and drove it straight into the ocean. And he said he had never been closer to death in his life, as he had to hold his breath underwater until he could open the door to get out of the van.
Oof.
Dang, dude, that'd be rough.
Yeah. Well, good thing he survived. Otherwise, we would have watched this today.
All right, this next one. The actor was kicked out of the Playboy Mansion by Hugh Hefner when he refused to take photos with the girls. Let's start with Alex.
Rainn Wilson.
Zach.
Jason.
Kyle.
Jason.
And Jamie.
Jason Statham.
Correct answer, Jason Statham.
Alex, are you 0 for 4
Alex
right
is
now?
laying a goose egg right now.
Oh, man.
This actor's big break was for a Kit Kat commercial. Start with Kyle.
Rainn Wilson.
Jamie.
Rainn Wilson.
Alex.
Is this like a real Kit Kat commercial or one of those like Skittles commercials?
This was a real Kit Kat commercial.
Rainn.
Zach.
Did everybody vote Rainn?
Everybody voted Rainn.
Yes.
Jason.
It's Jason. This was his first acting gig.
It was Jason Statham.
It was Jason Statham.
Yes.
Oh, man.
And then he landed the movie to support his income. That's when he started doing the stealing and reselling of jewelry and perfume, and then got into his first movie. It was all coming together. This actor wrote a book about his Baha'i, I think it's pronounced Baha'i faith, a belief system that believes all gods from every religion exist. Jamie.
Rainn Wilson.
Alex.
Rainn Wilson. He's got to be right
Zach?
one of these times.
Jason.
And Kyle.
Rainn Wilson.
Come on.
Correct answer, Rainn Wilson. Alex is on the board.
Oh,
All right,
dude,
we
welcome to
have-
it, man.
We have one question left. Kyle and Zach trail Jamie by 1 point. Jamie has 5 points. This is a good one. This actor was raised in the jungles of Nicaragua with his father and pet sloth. Let's start with Zach.
Jason.
Kyle.
Jason Statham ain't got no time to be held down by a slow-moving animal like a sloth. It's Rainn Wilson.
Jamie.
Rainn Wilson.
And Alex.
Where did you say? What country?
Nicaragua.
I don't even know where that's at.
South
Rainn
America.
Wilson.
Correct answer, Rainn Wilson. Born in Seattle, raised in Nicaragua with his divorced father and pet sloth. Jamie wins with 6 points. That is
Thank you.
Know Your Action Star.
Wow.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So previously when I talked about him being a diver, that wasn't because it was a question.
I
was
pulled it
because
out. That was one of the questions.
Oh, okay.
He's got the body of a diver.
Yeah.
Good stuff,
Not Rainn
Ben.
Wilson.
Loved
Thanks.
it.
Yeah, dude, good.
Getting better every week.
You're getting there.
Gets better with age.
Alrighty. Is it time?
It's time.
Check your watches.
Oh, it says Zac Facts times.
Is it?
That's what it says here. It
Oh.
says time for Zac Facts.
Zac Facts, it's Zac Facts. When you're going down, get some Zac Facts when you're going down. All right, I'm here. Sorry. Ready for some facts?
Yes.
Yes.
I've only got 3, so sit down and listen closely because this is important. So, Zac Facts for the Mag. Number 1. The submarine blowing up at the start of the film required 238 takes, with a new submarine being built each time.
Wow. That must be where the budget came from.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
We've
That's
spent-
that's like less than $1 million per submarine.
Yeah.
They probably have like Mel Gibson as the eccentric billionaire, and halfway through filming that, they're like, "We got to fire him. Rainn Wilson, get in here. We can't pay you.
Yeah.
Sorry."
Sorry, Mel. You're out of here.
Fact number 2. The director had a hard time finding the right megalodon for the lead role, but it eventually went to Mary Maglodon.
I wonder what those auditions were like.
Mary Magdalene. Megalodon.
Jesus Christ.
And the last one. When asked in an interview, Steven Spielberg said, "The Meg is so good it takes a bite out of Jaws." And there it is.
Oh.
Oh. Takes a bite out of jar.
it is.
There it is. There it is. Excellent. Mary Megalodon.
That was my favorite that I thought of. Don't even know how I thought of it.
Christian humor.
Thanks for listening to Submersion. Find us on SoundCloud and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Can't get enough of us? Don't forget to subscribe for new episodes every Thursday. And if you like what you heard, please go ahead and give us a rating. Three, two, one. All right, got the clap.
You got the clap?
That
Got the
sucks.
clap.
Do you know why it's called the clap? I do.
Why is it called the clap?
I'm not going to tell you.
Dude, come on, just let us know.
All right, I'll
Clapping
make
that
this
ass.
short story long. So, way back when,
Clap, 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 clap.
you know, guys would get chlamydia, puts a crust in your penis. They didn't know
Sure.
what to do. So you just clap it, break it up, pee it out.
What?
So you take both hands, clap it around your dick to break up the crust?
Unless you had a good friend to help, yeah.
I don't believe you.
I do believe you.
That's what I heard. Now, did the person that told me that lie to me? Maybe.
No, see, because what I heard is that it's because every time someone would find out they had chlamydia, they would clap their hands to the face and go, "Oh no!"
Oh,
He was really smiley, really proud of himself about that one.
Boom. Nailed it. Nailed it.
Wow.
Anyway.
All right.
let's just roll with that.